I love this subgenre of like investigative kind of movies. She Said stars Carey Mulligan, Zoe Kazan, and Patricia Clarkson. It tells the story of New York Times reporters Megan Towie and Jodi Kantor breaking one of the most important stories in a generation, a story that helped launch the hashtag #MeToo movement and shattered decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault in Hollywood. Now this is a movie I've been looking forward to all year long, because like I briefly mentioned in the intro of this video, I'm a big fan of this subgenre of like investigative movies, whether that's based on a true story or a fictional story. Spotlight is a movie that always comes to my mind first when I think of this subgenre and what's one of my favorite movies in it. Plus this movie tells a story of one of the most important movements breaking really across the internet, and all of that sounded really interesting to me. And for a movie that I've been anticipating all year long, it's not one that I loved. That doesn't mean I didn't like it, because I did thoroughly enjoy it. But before we get any further into this review, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and comment down below what are your thoughts or expectations for She Said. But let's keep talking about the movie. Now for a movie that tells such a disturbing and important story in our history over the past decade, I feel like it did the story justice. Throughout nearly the entire runtime, I was continuously interested in waiting to see what was going to happen next in this story kind of breaking. The movie does a good job of setting up groundwork within the first act. We learn a couple key things about our main characters that are going to give us an attachment to them. Both of our characters are working mothers, and in Carey Mulligan's character's case, she just had a baby and now she's returning back to work. She returns back to work right when the story is being developed and Zoe Kazan's character is really doing her research. For me personally, it's crazy to think that this story really dates all the way back to 2016, nearly 6 years ago. But after the 2016 election, this movie takes place about 6 months afterward. That's when it really starts. And that first act does move pretty quickly, and I think that's both a good thing and a bad thing. I guess I would call it a bad thing because it does brush over a couple key things, but it does a good job of getting you hooked right from the start, and I love it when a movie can do that for you. The movie is anchored by two superb leading performances from Zoe Kazan and Carey Mulligan. These are two actors and more so characters that don't fight for the spotlight. They each get their individual time, and each of their characters feel fleshed out. To a degree, I would say, and I'll get into that more in a second. I've been a fan of Carey Mulligan for a while now, but Zoe Kazan really showed me what she is capable of in this movie. I think Carey Mulligan's character in particular could have used some more fleshing out, because they do hint at a couple key things within her character. There's not really much to spoil, but I won't get too in depth, but basically her character suffers from depression, and problems for her really started to arise right after she had her first child, which is basically when this entire story is being told. I think they glossed over it a little bit. I understand that they wanted to put the spotlight on the main investigative kind of drama story being told here, but if you're gonna bring up a mostly key character trait, you might as well explore it just a little bit more. This movie does a great job of putting you in these characters' positions, really going in depth, not shying away from going even into graphic detail, which is important for the audience just to understand how cruel and disgusting Harvey Weinstein was. It's disturbingly riveting, especially when you are learning about these tragic stories that happen to hundreds of thousands of women. These are obviously not enjoyable moments and scenes to watch, that's not what I'm trying to say, but there was one moment in particular, one very chilling moment that just has a couple of brief moving shots of hotel hallways and telling a couple key stories of some of these victims. You hear an audio recording and you just see the subtitles, that's it. That's probably one of the best scenes of the movie for me, because I think it just really played into simplicity very well. You don't really need to view anything visually, you just need to hear the stories and the outcries of a couple women. I do think the movie suffers from pacing issues. It's 2 hours long, and I definitely felt that runtime. It's also not a movie that I care to revisit all too often moving forward, but it's a movie that is so important for audiences across the world to watch and just understand how horrible these events truly were. In terms of bringing anything new to the subgenre, it doesn't really do that, but it'll keep you engaged and interested into learning more about this story, because it really is everything leading up to the story being finally published. The movie is, of course, anchored by some great leading performances, and I did think this was a really good movie. I'm gonna give She Said a B. Those are just my thoughts on She Said. Let me know down below once again in the comment section, what are your thoughts on this movie? And thank you so much for watching this review, and if you did enjoy it, again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, plus that notification bell so you don't miss any further videos. And as always, look forward to more videos coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.